It began with a father's smile, family dinners, birthday candles, and a man who proudly called himself Dad. But the truth was hidden in his blood. When a simple DNA test was taken, not for crime, not for curiosity, but for routine paperwork, what came back shattered everything. Because the man who had raised a family for over 2 decades wasn't who he claimed to be. His identity was stolen, his past erased, and the life he built was founded on a lie so dark, investigators are still unraveling it to this day. At the center of this case was a man beloved in his neighborhood. To friends, he was generous. To family, protective. To the world, just another father working hard to provide. But the first cracks appeared when his daughter needed a medical test that required genetic matching. The results didn't make sense. He wasn't just a partial mismatch. He wasn't related at all. At first, it was dismissed as lab error. But the more they tested, the deeper the nightmare became. Every sample confirmed the same impossible truth. Biologically, he wasn't connected to his own children. The family spiraled. Accusations flew. Secrets boiled to the surface. But when investigators stepped in, they discovered the real horror wasn't about infidelity or family betrayal. It was about identity. This man wasn't who he claimed to be. Not on paper, not in DNA, not in history. In fact, the name he carried didn't exist at all before the late 1990s. Detectives pulled records. Birth certificates, employment files, driver's licenses. Every document pointed to a trail that went cold just as another man's life ended violently, decades earlier, in another state. The suspicion grew into something far darker. Had he killed to become someone else? And if so, who had he been before? Neighbors recalled odd behaviors. A locked basement no one was allowed to enter. Periods of unexplained travel. Even his wife admitted there were questions she stopped asking long ago because his temper flared when pressed. But the most haunting clue came from the FBI database. When they ran his DNA, the results didn't just prove he wasn't the children's father. They matched him to something else. An unsolved crime scene from over 30 years ago, in a town he swore he'd never been. The man who called himself Dad wasn't just living under a stolen name. He was living on borrowed time. And as investigators closed in, one terrifying question remained unanswered. If this was his past, what else was